In 2014, a 19-year-old boy published a white paper online that almost no one understood. His name was Vitalik Buterin, a quiet kid with a mind years ahead of his time. His idea? A new kind of internet money, one that could run itself. Back then, one Bitcoin could buy you 2,000 Ether, each worth about 30 cents. Today, that same $500 investment would be worth over $7 million. But this isn't a story about getting rich. It's about a boy who dreamed of rebuilding trust, not with banks or governments, but with mathematics. Vitalik was born in Russia in 1994, the son of two computer scientists. He was small, shy, and endlessly curious. By age 7, he could multiply 3-digit numbers in his head faster than anyone in class. Teachers placed him in a special program for gifted kids, math, programming, economics, but he didn't fit in. Too fast, too focused, too different. Classmates joked he must be from another planet, and maybe he was. Years later, he'd say he often wondered why he couldn't just be normal. But what made him different was exactly what would change the world. As a teenager, Vitalik lived inside World of Warcraft. For years, he built his perfect character, until one day the game company changed the rules. His favorite spell disappeared overnight. He begged them to fix it. They refused. He stared at the screen for hours before deleting the game forever. When power is centralized, freedom is borrowed, not owned. He didn't know it then, but that heartbreak would become the foundation of Ethereum. At 17, Vitalik's father introduced him to Bitcoin, a digital currency run by no one. At first, Vitalik thought it was too slow and limited, but curiosity pulled him in. He began writing about Bitcoin online. He couldn't afford to buy any, so he wrote technical articles for crypto forums, earning 5 Bitcoins per post, then worth just a few dollars. Those posts caught fire. Soon, he co-founded Bitcoin Magazine, the first publication dedicated to cryptocurrency. He was still a teenager, explaining a new financial system to people twice his age. He didn't just understand the technology, he understood the possibility. In 2013, Vitalik enrolled at one of Canada's top computer science universities, but one Bitcoin conference changed everything. He met developers who believed money could evolve, not by permission, but by code. He realized school couldn't keep up with the world outside. After 8 months, he dropped out. He packed his laptop and traveled the world, from Israel to Silicon Valley, meeting programmers, learning how decentralized systems worked. Everywhere he went, he saw the same limitation. Bitcoin could send money, but it couldn't do anything else. He dreamed of something bigger, a blockchain that could run programs for finance, art, voting, and gaming. A network anyone could build on. That dream became Ethereum. To understand what Vitalik built, imagine a notebook shared by everyone. You can write in it, everyone can read it, but no one can erase it. That's a blockchain, a public ledger stored across thousands of computers. Each page is a block. Each block is sealed forever. No one owns it, no one controls it, yet everyone can trust it. Bitcoin used that idea for digital money. Vitalik wanted to use it for everything. He imagined a blockchain that could also store rules, programs that execute automatically, a world computer running smart contracts, digital agreements that enforce themselves. If Bitcoin was digital gold, Ethereum would be a digital civilization. In late 2013, Vitalik sat in a small Toronto apartment and wrote his white paper. He described a decentralized computer that could host any app, powered by its own currency, Ether. Smart contracts would let people make deals without lawyers. Developers could build tools that no one could censor or shut down. He sent the paper to 15 friends. They shared it, and within days, it was everywhere. In 2014, he launched a crowdfunding campaign. 1 Bitcoin could buy 2,000 Ether. He raised 31,000 Bitcoins, about $18 million. A year later, Ethereum went live. Vitalik was 21 years old. The world now had a new kind of internet, one built not on trust, but on mathematics. In 2016, Ethereum faced its first great test. A project called the DAO, built on Ethereum, was hacked. $50 million disappeared in hours. The world's headlines screamed that Ethereum was finished. Vitalik had 2 options: do nothing and let the hacker keep the funds. Staying true to code is law. or roll back the blockchain to restore what was stolen, an act some called heresy. He chose people over principle. Ethereum forked into two, Ethereum Classic and Ethereum ETH. That decision saved the project and defined Vitalik's leadership. By 2022, Ethereum had become the backbone of decentralized finance, art, and culture, but it had a problem: energy. Its original system, called proof of work, required thousands of computers to compete to solve puzzles and confirm transactions. It was secure but inefficient, like running a gold mine 24 hours a day. Vitalik believed Ethereum could evolve. The answer was proof of stake, a design where users lock up their ether to help secure the network and earn rewards. No mining, no wasted electricity, just trust and participation. After 7 years of preparation, in September 2022, the merge finally happened. Ethereum switched from proof of work to proof of stake while still running live, without downtime or failure. Energy consumption dropped by 99% overnight. It was one of the greatest engineering feats in internet history: quiet, precise, and perfect. In 2024, on Ethereum's 10th anniversary, Vitalik revealed his new roadmap. He said Ethereum would evolve from a world computer into a world ledger, a shared foundation for global trust. If the ledger is the book, he said, then ETH is the ink. Ethereum's base layer, Layer 1, would focus on security and decentralization. Layer 2 networks would handle speed and high-volume transactions. Together, they'd form what Vitalik calls the barbell strategy: strong at the core, fast at the edges. A system built to serve billions without compromising its soul. Despite his fame, Vitalik remains humble, awkward, brilliant, brutally honest. He still wears the same jeans and t-shirts. He spends his time speaking about privacy, fairness, and freedom. He's called out scams and fake founders. He's warned investors not to treat Ethereum like a casino. He believes it's a tool for progress, not speculation. Vitalik doesn't chase money, he chases meaning. Vitalik's story is more than tech history. It's a reminder of what vision looks like. He was the kid who didn't fit in, the gamer who lost his world and decided to rebuild one, the dropout who replaced trust in people with trust in code. He proved that innovation isn't rebellion, it's imagination. That one person, one laptop, and one crazy idea can shift the world's balance of power. Being different isn't weakness, it's destiny. Setbacks aren't endings, they're invitations to evolve. And true innovation never begins with money. It begins with a question: what if the world could work better? From 30 cents to thousands of dollars. From a single paper to a global network. Ethereum's miracle is still unfolding. Vitalik Buterin didn't just create a cryptocurrency, he created a new kind of trust written in code instead of ink. And somewhere, right now, another teenager might be writing their own white paper. An idea people laugh at today that could change the world tomorrow. Every generation has its own Ethereum. The question is, what's yours? This film is for educational and inspirational purposes only. It does not provide financial advice or recommend any investment. Always do your own research before making financial decisions.